Hello and welcome back to Gardening and Allotment Tips podcast, hosted by Gardening with Ben. If you've not checked out my main podcast channel called Gardening with Ben, go and search for that on Spotify, on Amazon, on Apple Music, and you'll find Gardening with Ben, or click the link in the description and you'll be able to find out all about it. So, what are we talking about today? Well, it's exciting. It's so good. It's fantastic. Spring is finally here. Yes, it's finally arrived after all this time. But I have done a podcast about this on my Gardening with Ben podcast, but I'm that excited for spring. You've got 2 episodes talking about how fantastic spring is. Well, spring is all about the weather finally changing. It's about the light mornings, light nights, the warmer weather, everything starting to wake up in the garden and in the allotment. And wow, have I noticed that change this week in the allotment. It's absolutely changing day on day at the moment down at the plot. And every time I go, new things are popping up, new things are opening, and we have got daffodils opening all the time, every single day. I've got all my irises popping up, and those I've planted for the first time this year, and they're all doing absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how the bulbs are looking this year. And then also I've noticed all my raspberry canes are starting to get leaves on again, and everything is waking up. The fruit trees, they're starting to get buds on. Before we know it, we'll be getting blossom on them. So yeah, everything is finally starting to open up. And as I was talking yesterday in yesterday's podcast, I was talking about encouraging frogs to the garden, and I've seen so many pictures over the last couple of weeks of frogs laying all the frog spawn and everything like that. So it just goes to show that spring is on its way. And this week is going to be a scorching hot week. It's going to be a heat wave week this week. It's going to be 20 degrees. So it's coming in absolutely perfect this spring this year. And that's what we want. We want the decent weather. I remember 2 years ago in the first lockdown when we couldn't go anywhere, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Thankfully, we were still allowed to as allotments, so I just spent all my time at the allotment during the first lockdown. It was amazing, and I certainly got a good allotment. But yeah, now that spring is finally here, it's time to start thinking about starting all your seeds off. It's an exciting time of year, and I always get excited in March because I do start all my seeds off in March. I'm quite eager. Obviously it's a lot cooler up north than it is down south in the UK, but I do tend to start all my seeds off in March. I've not started no like tomatoes or cucumbers or peppers or chilies off yet, but I'll be starting them all off this month. I've just got to wait till payday to get some compost, so then I can start sowing all them seeds, which I'm certainly looking forward to doing. As I've got so many seeds this year, I'll probably end up losing some somewhere and missing them or forgetting about them, and then realise at the end of the year that I've not planted them. But hopefully we'll get some. But there is some things that we can start planting outside now in this weather, and those are potatoes, onion bulbs, shallots, broad beans, peas. So yeah, there is stuff that we can be starting off outside, and even parsnips. They do say to plant parsnips outside where you're going to grow them because they do not like getting disturbed. So don't start them off in a seed tray, just start them off straight in the ground. So it's going to be good these next few months, and it's going to be tough keeping everything watered and keeping everything alive, but hopefully we'll manage to do it. And I have some good plot neighbours as well, whereas if I can't get to the allotment because I'm working or something like that, my plot neighbour will go and water them, or my dad will pop down and water them. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how people help out with my plot. and it's going to be a good year this year. It's going to make up for the bad year that I had last year due to mental health, due to work. I was working 9 while 5 every day, so I couldn't get down to the allotment only at weekends, which wasn't enough time to spend at an allotment. You need more time than that. So now that I'm working shifts again and I get 4 days off at a time, I can spend a decent time amount at the plot. It's just a case of making sure I go and water when I'm not working, or water after I finish work. And when the light nights start coming again, I'll be able to get down there early. Even in the summer when it's the light mornings as well, I'll be going before work and giving it a good watering and getting it all good soaking, because I shared some gardening tips the other day, and one of the tips was to water in the morning rather than at night, because the slugs come out at night. So if you've watered at night, they will absolutely love the wet conditions, and that's when they'll attack all your fruit and vegetables. So water in the morning, because they don't come out in the daytime. So that is one fantastic tip that I've learnt this year. So I hope that you have a fantastic week. Make the most of this fantastic weather that we're going to get over this week. 20 degrees, wow. Once you finish work, get out in them gardens, get out in them allotments, enjoy the most of it and make the most of it, because who knows, we may still get snow. It can happen, and April could be the bad April showers. Who knows? So always make the most of the good weather when we have it. You've got to make the most of every opportunity that you can at the allotment and in the garden, and I know I certainly will be over the next few weeks. So yeah, if you're new to this podcast, make sure you do click that subscribe button, because then you get notified as new episodes appear. Also, if you've not checked out my Gardening with Ben podcast, do search for that and have a look for it. There is a link for it in the description of this podcast. And why not have a check at my gardening t-shirts? There's some very funny ones on there. A couple of are best sellers, and they do really well. So have a look at them. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts.